everyone, it's Miss Kelly from the Wakanda Area Library. Today I'm here to show you what we're doing with this month's VirtualTeen Art Kit. So this month we're making personalized mugs. So inside your kit you're going to find your mug, which is wrapped up in paper towel for transport, and also you can use the paper towel to cover your workspace. Let's open that up. All right. I've got a fine point paintbrush in there, some metallic paint and just some white paint. They're acrylic, so they are permanent paints. And then also just some ideas for maybe the way you'd like to paint your mug. I thought I'm going to do kind of one of those little sleeping faces on it. All you'll need is a bowl of water for rinsing your brush. And like I said, make sure you cover your workspace. So this is acrylic paint, so it's pretty permanent, but it is not going to be dishwasher safe. But it's going to be perfectly safe for you to drink out of, but make sure that you hand wash it carefully because you can scrub the paint off if you're not careful. Also remember, if you are going to use this to drink out of, you probably don't want to put paint up here on the rim because it will in your mouth or wear off after a while because it's going to be repeatedly wet. But this, if you don't want to use it to drink out of, you could use it to hold pencils and pens on your desk, or you could put makeup brushes in it. It's entirely up to you what you want to use it for. So let's get started. My bowl of water over here. Because this is a mug that I'm going to drink out of and I'm right-handed, I'm going to do it on this side. So I'm going to turn it this way so I can put something on here. All right. So to open these little paints, make sure you push it down hard. It's got two little flippers right here on the front. Hold it down tight like this while you lift up one side so you don't end up spilling the paint. Again, like hold it down tight and lift it up. There's plenty of paint in there. You'll probably have more than you need for this project. So make sure when you shut it, if you snap it tightly shut, so make sure you feel that click all the way front and back. It should stay pretty good in there. It won't dry out. Okay, let's take your paintbrush. I did put these in there for some ideas. Again, I'm going to use something off there, I think. But because this is paint and it is permanent, I kind of wanted to plan what I was doing first. It's a new paintbrush. It's got a nice fine point on it. Makes it a little bit easier to work. All right. This white should show up really nice on your black mug. Like I said, this is just my idea. It's one idea of many that you could do. I think I'm just going to do the one side. You could do both sides. Just let it dry completely before you do the other one. So if you get it on like this and you decide you didn't like it, you can still pretty easily quickly wipe it off. Make sure you dry it really good because you'll get a cloudy haze in there. You can keep your paper towel actually a little damp if you want to take that back off. Make sure when you do rinse your paintbrush, make sure that you dry it and roll it again. It kind of gives you that fine point again, so you'll get a better painting edge, so to speak. You'll be able to do a cleaner line on it. Not too much, okay? All right. The only problem with working on this kind of surface is it's curved, so it makes it a little tricky, so you'll have to kind of keep going back and looking at your work and seeing how centered it is and if you like it. Because the mug is black and it is white paint, I'm going to recommend you'll do a couple coats on it, so just let it dry a little bit. So like I did the outline here, so I'm going to also move on, and then I'll let that sit while I move on to another part. Okay. There you go. Okay, and anytime you switch colors, make sure you dry that excess water off your brush because the paint will get watered down and then it'll run. So if you're trying to paint those neat, sharp lines, those won't last if it's running down. Do a little nose. You could do a starry night on here. I said everybody's going to get a white and a metallic color. It might not necessarily be gold. It's going to be random. You'll see. Could do a little gold inside his ear there too. And you can definitely see how you see the brush strokes through here. So what you're kind of going to need to do is get a base coat down. And once it dries, then another layer of paint will adhere better to it. So I'll do all the spots that I want to do gold. And then I'll rinse and go back and do another coat of the white while that's drying. You might need to stop and let it dry a little while in between. dry, I can go over, right? It's better to do several thinner coats than try and do a really thick line on there though. You'll get a nicer clean look. Go. I think I'll do this too. Pretty easy if you don't like it. Still at this point, when the paint is very wet, you can basically just erase it right off there. All right, let's put that a little mouth on there. Kind of a fine point. I definitely can see that I'm going to need to go over that gold one more time because I want it to be a little bit more vibrant. Make sure to get all that paint off. Go one more coat over the gold. You could maybe even do the handle metallic if you wanted to do the handle. It's very tempting to just try and put a really thick coat on, but like I said, it's going to be better if you do several thin coats. So there you have it, my finished kitty mug. I've let it dry for a couple hours now. I went back and touched up a couple spots on it and added a little fun detail on the back. So I recommend you let it dry for at least a few hours, or overnight would be even better, and then take a look at it and see if there's any touching up that needs to be done. Make sure you wash your brush well and close your paint tightly because you can always save anything left over for another project. And send me some pictures so I can see how your mugs turned out. Keep an eye out for next month's Virtual Teen Art. Bye!